Welcome back to Unstable TV! And you're through to Irish Couple Reacts. And do stay tuned because this happens every week.
So if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of these videos. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you!
Welcome! We are back with another Reacta. So what are we doing today, Danielle?
So today, we were asked to do who are the Tamil people?
Who are they?
Exactly. And again, we were asked to do this by a couple of people, so we're just gonna pop them up here. Thanks so much for asking us to do this because we love learning about all this.
Yeah, of course we do. Absolutely. And we always are open to suggestions. So thanks again everyone who threw this our way. So without further ado, I think we'll go ahead and just jump right in, will we?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get learning.
Let's get learning.
This is South India, home to the biodiversity hotspots, the Western and Eastern
that's
Ghats,
an Irish person already.
the Nilgiri Tara,
That's an Irish
Indian
accent.
elephant,
Shout out to the
and whatever
Irish.
this creature is. Here is also the cradle of Tamil culture. Today there are about 80 million Tamils in the world. That's more than there are French, Colombians,
That
or
is a lot of
Kenyans.
people.
Most Tamils
That
live
is a
in
lot.
North and East Sri Lanka or in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, literally Tamil country. Tamil Nadu is now a state in modern India, but for thousands of years, Tamilakam, or the homeland of the Tamils, was much larger and ruled by independent kingdoms. Tamil culture is the last surviving classical civilization because they've managed to keep their beliefs, culture and language intact for over 2,000 years.
That's a long
But
time.
who are the Tamils?
Who
What
are
is
the
their
Tamils
story?
is right. That's what we
And
want to know.
What does it have to do with $700 million gold coins? Well, let's find out. The Tamils, maybe more than any other people, are in love with their language. Tamil writing has been dated as far back as the 6th century
Wow.
That's a
BCE
while.
from the archaeological site Kairadi in India and from the 2nd century BCE at Punakari in Sri Lanka, making it one of the oldest datable languages still in use. Tamils often call their language Tamartai, which means the Tamil mother.
That's nice.
It's more important to the Tamil
Mummy
identity
Tamil.
than land, race, or religion. If you want to have the most intense conversation of your entire life, just go ask a Tamil person anything about the Tamil language.
I'd be interested to have that
Tamils also
conversation, to
take
be honest, if
pride
it's that
in the
intense.
independent origin of their language. See, you can
So
roughly
proud of
divide
them,
India
honestly.
linguistically.
Yeah, that's a good
in
thing.
half.
Oh,
North
100%.
Indians generally speak languages descended from Sanskrit, an Indo-European language. This language family stretches from North India all the way over to Iceland. South Indian languages like Tamil belong to a completely unrelated language family called Dravidian. Unlike Sanskrit, which, like Latin, is no longer spoken, modern Tamil survives as a living language for millions of speakers. Dravidians do not like it when North India tries to push its culture or language on the south. The earliest clear evidence of Tamil people are urn burials dating from around 1000 BCE at Adich Annalur. Amazingly, they found evidence there of the worship of a god with a trident and a peacock, very like the Hindu Tamils' favourite god today, Murugan. But the Tamils really leap into world history when the Maurya Emperor Ashoka mentions the unconquerable southern Tamil kingdoms in his rock inscriptions made between
Unconquerable.
273
I'm sure
and
someone
232
challenged that.
BCE,
Oh, absolutely.
which is impressive when you consider the fact that the Maurya Empire essentially conquered everything else.
Wow.
This is right
Conquer
around
them.
the beginning of a Tamil golden age known as the Sangam period, lasting from the 3rd century BCE to the 3rd century
Whoa.
CE. At this
That's a few
time,
years
Tamilakam
away.
was ruled by 3 Tamil dynasties, the Solas, the Seras, and the Panjas. Unfortunately, there were no actual pandas in the Panja kingdom. I know. The Tamil kings were immeasurably rich and used their wealth to sponsor century-long poetry slams.
Wait, lyrics are
called
bottomless.
Sangams at the
Basically like rap battles.
where male and female poets would show off their work. These poets created thousands of poems, books, and epic stories called Sangam literature. Sangam literature is unique in how it doesn't seem to belong to any single class or religion. It was written by and concerns Hindus, Jains, men, women, farmers, kings, pandas, non-pandas, and everyone in between.
Wow.
One great Sangam poet, Poon Kunkrenar, emphasized the equality of all humans, saying, I am a citizen of the world, and everyone in the world is related to me.
That's a lovely
This was
quote.
quoted by one of India's most
100%.
beloved presidents, the Tamil Muslim aerospace scientist Abdul Kalam, at the European Parliament in 2007. The Sangam literature tells us about a rich, cosmopolitan and multi-ethnic Tamil-speaking society 2,000 years ago, where Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism all coexisted peacefully, where kings would even invite priests to public debates on their beliefs.
Oh.
Sangam
That sound
poems
like
describe
idea,
Madurai
what?
as
Oh,
so
yeah.
rich that it had a moat with secret underground passages large enough for elephants. Greek mercenaries guarded its gates, and the scent of perfume could be smelled miles away from the city.
Yeah, man,
Where there
just
were
chipping away in the
folks of
background.
every race buying and selling in the bazaars or singing to the music of wandering bands. So how were the Tamils so rich? They were spicy.
Spicy, wow, the
The
salt.
ancient world was a bland, flavourless, unseasoned mess. It tasted a lot like English food.
Oh,
This was until the Tamils taught everyone the way
would
of
be
the
an Irish
spice.
person. That wasn't in
The
there.
1st century
Yeah, that's
CE
true.
Greek manual for sailors, the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, says that the Tamils exported pepper and other spices, along with diamonds, woven textiles, pearls, ivory, malabadrum, and other luxury items. What's malabadrum? Who cares? It sounds luxurious.
It does.
Another major export was cotton and silk clothing woven by women. Indian women would dominate this global trade for the next 2,000 years. Tamils traded so much that Pliny the Elder said India takes 100 million sesterces from our empire per year at a conservative estimate. That's about 10 tons of gold.
That's
China had the
that's a
Silk
small
Road,
bit of money
Tamils
there.
had the
Yeah.
Flavor Highway? No, the Spice Boulevard.
Boulevard.
Whatever. They made themselves the centre of a global trade network that linked Europe, the Middle East, Africa, India, Southeast Asia,
Linking
and
the whole
China.
world.
We've discovered massive hoards of
Linked by
Chinese,
spice.
Iranian, and Roman coins along with the ancient Tamil
Spice
coast.
and silk,
Tamil
sorry.
inscriptions have been found as far apart as Egypt and Thailand. A statue of the Hindu goddess Lakshmi got buried at Pompeii, and Tamil ambassadors met with Augustus Caesar in 20 CE. This trade made Tamil cooking the first international cuisine in the
Oh,
world.
that's interesting.
The word
Yeah,
orange
no,
comes
no.
from the Tamil naram. Ginger comes from Tamil inchivar, and rice in loads of European languages comes from the Tamil arisi. Without the Tamils, Ireland's greatest contribution to
Ireland's
world
greatest
cuisine,
contribution
the
to
spice
Spice Bag.
would not exist. And honestly, I don't
Oh.
want to
Wow.
live in that
Shout
kind
out
of
to the
world.
Irish fella that made
One
this.
Roman
Yeah,
cookbook
exactly.
That's some-
had
that's
over
some
300
10 out of 10 humour there.
recipes using Indian spices, from ostrich curry to tasty peppered brain sausage.
Brain
Or
sausage.
everyone's
Oh,
favourite,
thank you.
another
I know
laxative.
that laxative.
Link to the cookbook is in the description, in case you need a laxative. Tamils got so rich off of their trade routes that just one temple, the Padmanabhaswamy temple, whose vaults were recently opened, has a treasure worth over $700 billion.
Whoa. That's a
This
lot.
was accumulated over thousands of years from the donations from Tamil dynasties like the Seras, the Panjas, the Pallavas, and the Solas. Some of the things in the temple include this golden
God.
Mahavishnu statue,
That's
tens of
incredible.
thousands of gold coins,
Amazing.
a solid
Games
gold
room.
throne, golden elephants, a 5-meter long diamond necklace, and my personal favourite, a 30-kilogram solid gold coconut. At what point does that stop
I
being a
wanna see
coconut
that.
and
Yeah,
start being a boat?
exactly.
We
What-
can, but-
There are still
What point does it
unopened
stop being a
vaults.
coconut and start
Though
being
we're
a
still
bonbon?
unsure of how
I'd
much
love
of
to
the
see
work.
that myself.
Tamil
What was that
merchants,
crying?
monks, and craftspeople worked across Southeast Asia and lived in small communities there. Tamil merchants didn't just trade pepper with Southeast Asia, they traded the spiciest thing of all, ideas.
Ooh, spicy days.
From the 4th century
Spicy.
CE on, kingdoms from Thailand to Vietnam to Indonesia were ruled by Hindu kings and wrote using Tamil writing. Modern Khmer, Javanese, and Thai scripts all descend from the Tamil Pallava script. The
Love
greatest monument to this cultural exchange is the originally Hindu temple
Is
of
that whole
Angkor
thing
Wat
was
in
bigger than
Cambodia,
Ireland?
the largest religious structure on earth. By the end of the 13th century, we even find that Tamil
What do you mean, to
Hindu
the Yom
temple
dynasty?
dedicated to Shiva
Yeah.
all the way over
Did you say it when you
Chinese
spun your
border,
head?
Xinjiang, where
Whoa.
a small Tamil community lived. The wealth and fame of the Tamil lands invited more than just merchants. A small Jewish community could be found in Kochi from the 6th century BCE. More even came as refugees after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. and according to local tradition, the Jews were followed by St. Thomas, the apostle of Jesus, who landed in India in 52 CE and started converting people to Christianity. From Thomas, India's current Syrian Christian community claims descent. In 629 CE, a mosque was built by Muslim merchants in Muziris, and you can still go visit it today, or a part of it at least, because the Portuguese blew it up in 1504, but like, it's still cool. You can still see some of it. Okay, so we're going to do a little time jump here. Let's see. Invaded by Buddhist warrior tribes, Jainism and Buddhism take over for it, rise of the Pallava dynasty, Hindu revival. Here it is. After the Sangam period, the next great Tamil golden age happened under the Sola dynasty, between the 9th and 13th centuries. Their greatest king, Raja Sola, rose to the throne in 985 CE. He and his son quickly turned his modest kingdom into an empire that conquered most of South India, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives. The Sola used their massive navy, the largest in Asia at the time, to control the trade routes between Southeast Asia and China. When the Srivijaya Empire threatened to block Sola access to the Straits of Malacca, massive naval attacks across Indonesia and Malaysia, and even kidnapped the Srivijaya king.
That took a bit of a turn.
Ever messed with their trade routes ever again. Along with an army containing 60,000 war elephants, the Sola king's personal guard included the Padimuglir, or women bodyguards trained in Tamil martial arts and weapons. There are also mentions of women working as advisors and ambassadors, and using their own money to make large donations to temples. Raja Sola poured his enormous wealth into building massive temples in a style called Dravidian architecture. The most well-known of these being the Raja Jeswara temple in Tanjore. This 66-metre tall,
44 tiny feet.
Well, we know how tall it is now.
World at the time. Other than Raja temple, other Sola/Dravidian architecture is also breathtaking, like the Iara Teswara temple, the Kanki
From start to
Kontaswara
finish,
temple,
like
and the Champakaresuvara temple.
Oh.
Sola temples also acted as banks. These temples received massive donations from the royals, and then they offered loans from those donations to farmers, villages, and merchants. Sola temples became this weird vehicle for redistributing wealth and reinvesting it in arts and local communities, making everyone richer. It's no wonder why when Marco Polo came here in
with the selfie
1273,
stick.
he called the Sola
I thought
the
that was a
richest.
sword.
Sola power declined in the 12th and 13th centuries. Buddhism and Islam replaced Hinduism in Southeast Asia, and Tamil lands in Kerala drifted away and developed their own language and culture, which resulted in the modern Malayalam language. Okay, so we're going to need to do another time jump. You have Muslim invasions from the north, rise of the Vijayanagara, who built the world's second largest city, arrival of the Portuguese, destruction of the Vijayanagara by Muslim armies, Tamil lands fracture into small states, and here it is. No, it can't be. Not you. Not you again. Tally ho, 'tis a smashing civilization got there. 'Twould be a shame if someone were to plunder it. Tamilakam was split into small, competing states in the 17th century, which made it easier for the newly arriving European powers to invade. By the end of the 18th century, most of South India was under British rule. The Tamils resisted the British invasion. One example is that of the Queen of Shivaganga, Velu Nachiyar. To protect her kingdom from invasion, she built an army to resist the British imperialists. This army included a regiment of women soldiers. One of them, Kulili, volunteered to destroy a vital British ammunition depot that was located inside a temple. Kulili and her fellow warriors easily entered the temple as worshippers because the British thought women were harmless. Unable to sneak weapons in, they poured oil over Kulili, who then set herself on fire and leapt into the ammunition depot, blowing it up and securing victory for her queen in the following battles, becoming the first woman martyr in India's long battle for freedom. Despite acts like this, by 1858, the British Crown had seized control of all of India. Famine quickly swept South India between 1876 and 1878, killing 8 million people. With the area devastated by famine, the British could dismantle the over 2,000-year-old Tamil textile industry. As British textile manufacturers couldn't compete with Tamil textiles, so they destroyed all the Indian looms. Then they pushed Tamils out of work as craftspeople and onto tea, sugar, coffee, and opium plantations in India, or sent them off across their empire as indentured servants. John Sullivan, a colonial official in southern India, said, Under their own dynasties, all the revenue that was collected in the country was spent in the country. Our system acts very much like a sponge, drawing up all the good things from the banks of the Ganges and squeezing them out on the banks of the Thames.
That's disgusting.
India would eventually
That's
win its
horrible.
independence from Britain in 1947. In the first 2 decades of Indian independence, language became a battlefield in India. In 1950, Hindi, the most spoken language in India, was selected as the sole official language of the country, with 1965 picked as the year the changeover from English would happen. Speakers of the Dravidian languages in the south didn't like Hindi because it was Sanskrit based, which they considered more alien than English. As 1965 approached, thousands of Tamil student protesters shouted, "Hindi never, English ever," in the streets of Senni. 4 students set themselves on fire
Whoa.
as a symbol of non-violent protest. Dravidian political parties made it clear that if Hindi became the official language of India, then Tamil Nadu would secede from India. The protesters won. The
Yeah,
Official
you don't have to
Languages
have
Act
no
Amendment of
Yeah, I think they more than
1967
made that message
ensured
clear.
the
Exactly.
continued use of English alongside Hindi as the official
play to 'em
language
for
of
doing that.
India up until today. Even now in India, Tamil Nadu is famous for its
David was best
independent
life on
streak,
Middle Downs.
love of its
Yeah.
culture and language, and for acting as the champion of Dravidian politics against the North. But Tamils don't only live in Tamil Nadu. Just a few kilometres away from there is the island nation known today as Sri Lanka, where Tamils make up 15% of the population. Sri Lanka is home to several ethnic groups. The mostly Buddhist Sinhalese are the majority, and the mostly Hindu Tamils are the second largest group. Both groups have been on the island for over 2,000 years. This island was known as Ceylon when it suffered 3 centuries of colonialism under Portugal, the Netherlands, and then the British Empire took over in 1796. When the British arrived, they were like,
British
how can I
sounds
make
amazing.
everything worse?
Oh wow, how can I make things
Let's
worse?
introduce inter-ethnic conflict. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, to solve the
Whoa.
British chose Tamils for higher positions than the Sinhalese
History
in the
isn't it? It's
government.
not exactly
Then
nice.
in the Sri
No,
Lankan
and it
Islands,
shouldn't be. It's good to get the
Sinhalese
good
lands
and the
were
bad
seized
because you
by
want to
the
know
British,
everything
and
that happened.
enslaved Tamils from India were settled there as plantation workers. These are Indian Tamils, distinct from the Sri Lankan Tamils who have lived in Sri Lanka for much, much longer. Sri Lankan Tamils live in the north and east. Indian Tamils live in the central highlands, and the Sinhalese live essentially everywhere else. When the British got kicked out of Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, in 1948, the majority Sinhalese took control of the island. Sinhalese nationalism exploded, and soon anti-Tamil massacres swept the island in 1956, 1958,
That's awful.
and 1977, which led to the formation of a guerrilla fighting group known as the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, better known as the Tamil Tigers. On the 31st of May
Pretty cool, man.
1981, the
Not
Sri
family.
Lankan police burned the Jaffna Public Library to the
Oh.
ground, home to 97,000
Oh,
books
no.
and containing
All that information.
irreplaceable artifacts of
Oh,
Tamil
history.
history.
Yeah,
Seeing
gone.
the fire,
Just like that.
one Tamil refugee said, "It was as if my entire biography, my history and the history of the Tamils had been destroyed, wiped from the face of the earth as if we
Oh,
did not
that's
exist."
awful.
On July 23rd, 1983, the Tamil Tigers ambushed and killed 15 Sri Lankan soldiers, causing another anti-Tamil massacre to sweep the country in an event known as Black July. The Sri Lankan Civil War had begun. The Tamil Tigers were fighting for an independent Tamil nation in the Tamil parts of the island. As the war dragged on over decades, the Tamils became infamous for inventing the explosive suicide vest and for carrying out a suicide bombing campaign across Sri Lanka. The
That's
Sri Lankan
interesting.
army retaliated with brutal attacks against the Tamil Tigers, which mostly resulted in the deaths and displacement of tens of thousands of innocent Tamil civilians. The Sri Lankan
What?
state is still undergoing investigations
I'm
for
actually just in
committing
shock.
genocide against the Tamils. This bloody war dragged on for 26 years, until the 18th of May 2009, when the leader of the Tamil Tigers, V. Pirapakaran, was killed and the Tigers surrendered.
That wasn't
The
even that
war
long
took the
ago.
lives of over 100,000 people, with
You didn't hear enough about
14,000
that, to be
Tamil
honest.
civilians being killed
I
in
didn't
the
hear anything
final
about that
few
Yeah.
months of the
Well,
war.
not that I remember.
These are rough estimates because a proper investigation hasn't been done. The war caused a mass exodus of Sri Lankan Tamil refugees to India, Australia, Europe and North America. Today around 8 million Tamils live outside of India and Sri Lanka. From the 19th century onwards, they went as indentured labourers across the British Empire, especially to
Oh, the
Malaysia,
British
Singapore,
thing,
South
no?
Africa, Fiji, Mauritius, and the Caribbean, where many have kept their Tamil identities. Tamil is actually an official language in Singapore and Malaysia. Well, I think now it's time to take a look at Tamil culture. Religion. Today, about 88% of the Tamil population of Tamil Nadu are Hindus, 6% are Christians, 5.8% are Muslims, and Jains, Buddhists, and Sikhs make up the rest. The most important Tamil festival is Thai Pongal, a harvest festival dedicated to the Hindu sun god Surya that usually occurs on the 14th of January. This festival is celebrated by all Tamils regardless of religion though. Pongal means to boil or overflow and refers to the traditional dish of new harvest rice boiled in milk with raw sugar. Pongal celebrations include decorating
an
cows,
interesting drink.
ritual bathing, parades, prayers, dances, creating art, and getting together with friends and family and
That
exchanging
seems
gifts.
nice.
Yeah, it is.
During Pongal in
And
Tamil
size that
Nadu,
they-
you might also see
that
a
was
Jolly
one religion,
Kutta.
it's
When this over
everybody that's Tamil gets
2,000-year-old
together.
sport,
Yeah.
an Indian bull, is released into a crowd of people, and men attempt to grab the hump on the bull's back with both arms and hang onto it for as long as possible,
Nice and dangerous.
attempting to bring the
I
bull
knew
to
about
a
that, but I
full
didn't know
stop,
that was
thus taming the
Tamil.
bull. If they do
Yeah.
so, they get a prize. If no one tames the bull,
You're
the
right.
owner of the bull gets a prize. There have been many attempts to ban this sport in recent years, which has caused massive popular backlash. Another interesting Tamil holiday is a May festival of the god Aravan, who is worshipped by transgender people called Terunar in Tamil. At this annual festival at Kovakam, you'll see ceremonial marriages between festival goers and the god Aravan, along with beauty pageants and dances hosted with the
Random.
support of the Tamil Nadu government. In 2008, Tamil Nadu became the first state in India to allow people to legally identify as a third gender. Arts. Tanjore paintings and solar bronzes are some of the Tamils' greatest contributions to world art. But one of the more humble yet distinct features of Tamil art is the kolam, which decorates the front of almost every Tamil home. These are geometrical and floral designs made of rice flour. Each day the kolam is crafted by women and then erased the next morning to make room for a new one.
Oh.
Today
That
in
sounds
Tamil
interesting.
Nadu, huts
That's a
to
lovely
five-star
piece of
hotels
dedication.
will all
Yes.
have a kolam. One of the most treasured pieces of Tamil literature is the Tirukkural by Tiruvulluvar, which has its origins in the Sangam period but was finalised a few centuries after. This is a masterpiece in ethics and living well. The Tirukkural is made up of 3 books of wise sayings on virtue, wealth and love, all delivered in quick 2-line poems. For example, the greatest virtue of all is non-killing. Truthfulness cometh only next. It also just stops midway and talks about how to build good forts, and I'm always down for some fort
Yeah.
talk. Charity and kindness are also key aspects,
Could
and
be a
it
good fort.
emphasises non-violence and vegetarianism. Avoidance of killing and eating the meat of even one animal is more meritorious than 1,000 sacrifices. The Tirukkural is vital to Tamil culture. It pops up in songs, films and books. Every bus in Tamil Nadu is legally obligated to have a verse from the Tirukkural
That's
on it.
interesting.
One of the Tamils' most famous dances is Paratanateum. This dance tells a story through complicated mudras, or hand gestures, facial expressions and body posture. It also just looks incredible.
That does look incredible.
You have to watch one of them later as well.
Yeah, have a look into that.
Food. Rice is a staple of the mostly vegetarian Tamil diet. Bananas and plantains, jackfruit,
Okay,
coconut,
that looks
lentils,
nice.
tamarind and mango are also commonly used ingredients, along with a huge amount of spices. Traditionally, a Tamil meal is eaten off of a banana
Ooh.
leaf. Some favourite Tamil foods include the light and fluffy idli, the fried and spicy vadai, the crispy dosa, and the delicious fried
Ooh.
banana
That
bonda.
would taste
And
good.
no Tamil dish is complete without a side of sambar, chutney, or in
Oh,
Sri
very
Lanka,
chutney.
coconut sambal. Tamils also love their
Yeah,
coffee.
same here.
Coffee.
We agree with the
unique
Tamils on
South
that.
Indian device.
Coffee. Way.
Cheers to the Tams.
Tamil people are passionate about cinema. Based in the Kodobakam neighbourhood in Senna, the Tamil film industry, or Kollywood,
Oh,
is the
Kollywood.
second largest film industry in India. Mani Ratnam's gangster epic Nayakam was included in Time magazine's 100 best movies of all
We'll take a
time.
look at that.
I actually watched a movie with one of Tamil cinema's superstars, Rajinikanth, where this happens, and it was an absolutely amazing few hours.
Why have you never seen
Tamil
this before?
cinema has
That's
even
amazing.
bled
We
into
have to get
Tamil
a look at
politics.
that.
3 chief ministers of the Tamil Nadu state have risen out of Tamil cinema. Tamil cinema acts as a way for Tamils to preserve their independent and original culture by producing films in the Tamil language based on Tamil ideas and culture.
Oh, so that was it.
That was it, yeah. That was amazing. There was There's a lot of stuff in there
Yeah.
as well. That what it was. They
Yeah.
kind of shaped the world of spice, really, didn't they? That's what I took from it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. They shaped a lot of art, like a lot of beautiful art, a lot of beautiful culture shared in there, like a lot of food, like just a big wow factor the whole way through.
Yeah, like I love the way they I can't remember what exact word he used. The art outside each house every day. That's amazing. That's like you said. That's dedication.
Yeah, every morning, like that is amazing to even be doing that. But that is that's a lot of creativity plus dedication, and of course, like it was, as painstaking it was to hear the bad and what happened to them, the massacres and everything. Fortunately, if you want to know about it, you have to hear that. You have to take the good with the bad. But thankfully, there was a lot preserved, and they are still, getting their voice out there through their cinema and arts because
still going strong today
as a community.
As a civilization, community is probably a better word from so long ago.
Yeah.
Especially the writing as well. That'd be
something to try out.
That'd be a hard thing to keep though, because languages and stuff like that changed a lot.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that's stood the test of time, really.
Yeah, of course, especially with the libraries burning down and everything like that. That was fair play to them for keeping all that, and keeping it going and bringing it back to life more or less, which was.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and it was amazing to see that. Thanks again to everyone that suggested.
Absolutely, this is going to be another to watch because it was a lot of stuff we probably missed in that. After watching it once, we'll definitely have to watch it again. Yeah,
100%. Thanks again for telling us about this and getting us to do this one. And again, a big shout out to the original creator. Absolutely. Shout out to the Irish, So, all in all, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it was amazing. It's definitely something that you'd never learn over here anyway. So
no,
it's great to know more about different cultures and different societies.
Yeah. Expand our mind and give us more of an insight, for creativity and art and culture, because we want to be more diverse.
Exactly.
Don't want to be living a life in our own mind. Just want to be more open-ended to things.
The world's so big. There's so much out there that we don't know about.
And we're eager to learn more. So don't be shy, anyone. Drop it down below. If there's anything that could expand us, of course, for education purposes, because of course,
we have to learn.
Yeah. Learning and education is a big part of what we want to do on YouTube.
That's true, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And of course, if we can share it with you, sharing is caring after all. So, do you want to close out this one? So as always, you are the beautiful people of YouTube, and we have been Unstable TV.
So drop a comment below and let us know what you thought of this reaction video. And if you have any suggestions for us to do, let us know too.
And as always, we will see you in the next one. Bye.